Location emergency. I just drove around the Publix over here at Kings Plaza, and there looked like two bodies were laying behind the store.
Sarge, are you still here?
The victims were loved by everyone who knew them, and the police were desperate to find the person responsible for their deaths. Little did they know that their murderer was more deranged and twisted than they could have imagined.
What did you do? What did you do? I didn't do anything.
You playing any GeoGuessr later or anything? I'll probably play a little GeoGuessr later if you down. Or we could check out some thumbnails and stuff.
No. Okay. Where did he went?
Bro, the audio quality's so bad it sounded like she was barking.
Please don't be breathing. They talk to me.
She
On
barking?
August 1st, 2016, a delivery driver was making a standard early morning delivery to Publix when he noticed something that would haunt him for the rest of his life. Two teenagers were lying naked and dead behind the store. Each one had a singular gunshot wound to the head and had been positioned near their parked cars. The police were quick to show up on the scene and were soon met by some anxious parents whose children hadn't returned last night. With the help of the parents, the police were able to identify the two victims as Natalie Henderson and Carter Davis, both just 17 years old and preparing to go into their final year of high school. From what the police could gather, both teenagers were incredibly outgoing, kind, and well-loved. None of their friends or family could think of anyone who wanted to hurt the two, leaving police searching for any lead as to who their mysterious killer might be. But they weren't left without any clues for long. Using the security footage from neighboring businesses, the police were able to see that their suspect was a young, dark-haired man who appeared to be wearing some sort of white mask.
Oh,
In the footage, the two
one
teens
mask. I
could be
forget the name
seen
of it.
spending time together while their assailants secretly stalked them from behind a
Bro,
nearby
this one's
electrical
creepy.
box. After watching the couple for some time, the mysterious man confronted them and ultimately shot the two.
Yeah.
While this evidence was definitely a step in the right direction, it still wasn't enough to positively ID the killer. The next big break for the police came in the form of Natalie Henderson's bank statements, as officers realized her credit card had been used at a nearby Flash Foods gas station several minutes after her death. After checking the security footage at the gas station, officers were able to get enough details on the killer's car to trace it to a 20-year-old man named Jeffrey Hazelwood. After tailing Jeffrey for some time, police officers found him acting erratically outside of a gas station, and they made the decision to detain him.
There's a man from the back of the door.
What did you do? Just have a seat for me, bud. What did you do? What did I do? What did she do? But she didn't do it. What did I...
Oh, what?
What happened? But I didn't do anything. What's going on? What? No.
The police began the long and arduous task of questioning him and those closest to him. And in the following never-before-seen footage, we'll watch as they discover the horrifying truth behind the two teens' murders. After arriving at the station for questioning, Jeffrey is brought to an interrogation room and left on his own for 20 minutes.
Give us just a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You okay?
Tick.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
During this time, he can be heard talking to himself and experiencing tics in his hands.
That's fine. Okay.
It's got vocals.
The one place I could actually go home.
The tics in Jeffrey's hands could be the result of several things, but is likely an external sign of the extreme anxiety he's experiencing. The fact that Jeffrey is in a fetal position in his chair is another sign that he's under emotional duress, as that position is believed to bring comfort and a sense of safety. Additionally, Jeffrey may be talking to himself as a way of soothing his anxiety and fear. At this point, Jeffrey is still claiming to have no clue why he was detained, and it's time for Detective Bennett
Man,
to
strumming
step
that
into the
guitar,
room
dude.
and
He's
figure
going-
out what
going
exactly
crazy.
Jeffrey is hiding.
You okay?
No. What's going on?
What's the matter? Why are you upset?
Everything was falling apart. Now this is going on. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, what's falling apart?
Everything.
Everything like what?
My head is
kicked me out on first. But before that, my marriage was going to hell.
Okay.
And I couldn't do anything to fix it. They kept on getting worse and worse and worse.
Okay.
As Bennett walks into the room, she immediately picks up on Jeffrey's discomfort and tries to calm him down. Jeffrey's confusion, shaking, and anxiety are all signs of a psychotic episode, and Detective Bennett is more than aware of this. She speaks to him in a manner similar to how someone would speak to a child in an attempt to keep him as calm and cooperative as possible in his fragile state. In order to continue building rapport with him, Detective Bennett gathers some background information on his wife.
Tell me your wife's name.
Kelsey.
Kelsey?
Bonham.
Bonham? Okay, so you guys don't have the same last name?
We got married in our religion.
Okay.
Well, not legally, but to us, it was...
Okay. When did y'all get married?
April 22nd.
The 22nd of April? Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
How are things going with
Is this the guy that murdered them?
Kelsey? You said at the very beginning of us talking that things weren't going very well. Do you want to talk to me about that? What's going on with her? What's the matter?
Just keep fighting me. It's all my fault.
Yeah.
It's evident that Jeffrey is incredibly upset at the idea of losing his wife or fighting with her. Detective Bennett soon learns that Kelsey is Jeffrey's only positive relationship. After explaining that he was taken from his mother and given to his grandparents when he was only 18 months old, he goes more in-depth about the kind of relationship he alleges he has with them. It's important to note that there's no evidence of any of Jeffrey's claims being true, and are instead his version of what happened.
Just to beat the out of me with a belt.
How old were you when that happened?
I think I was 7 or 10, I don't around that age.
Okay, so pretty young.
Jeffrey paints a very disturbing picture of his childhood. Emotional and physical abuse, especially when inflicted at such a young age, can often trigger mental health disorders, and this alleged abuse could explain the anxious tics we see Jeffrey experiencing. While Jeffrey talks to Detective Bennett about his life, his wife Kelsey is being brought in for questioning alongside her mom. It's odd that Kelsey's mother is allowed in the interview room with her, given that she isn't underage. But the police reports reveal that she was there because Kelsey is hard of hearing and is also prone to having seizures. It's important to note that if she is significantly hard of hearing, this also impacts her body language. Individuals with hearing problems will not be able to modulate the tone or volume of their voice as effectively as a standard hearing individual.
Okay,
Additionally, if she used sign language as a child...
Dude, I feel like watching these documentaries, I'm going to learn so much stuff that I might just go apply to be like a little
She
investigator,
may
you know what I'm
talk
saying?
more with her hands and even
Interrogator,
typical
I'll just throw
conversations.
me in a room with them. I'll get some words out of them.
Marshall's, is that what
Michael.
Michael's. Do you still work there?
Unfortunately.
Which one do you work at?
The morning medical.
Is that where you met Jeff? Do y'all call him Jeff or Jeffrey or?
Jeff.
Bro, that dude looks rough.
And there?
He worked at the one in Alpharetta,
Okay.
North Point. He came into my store one night.
Okay.
So that's how I met him.
How long ago was that?
It was March 7th.
And have y'all been dating ever since, or? Okay.
With a few simple questions, the detective learns that Kelsey and Jeffrey have been dating for around 5 months. That's a seemingly short amount of time to date before getting married, legally or otherwise.
Do what you want.
Does he ever stay over
You know,
at
you
y'all's
know.
house overnight at all? Is that something that we?
He has with her. I really don't know much about the boy at all.
Okay.
Based on her tone and the fact that she only refers to Jeffrey as the boy, it's clear that Kelsey's mom doesn't approve of their relationship. Wanting to find out more about who Jeffrey is in his daily life, the officer asks Kelsey about his religious beliefs.
I heard some mention of, like, with nature around, like, spirit animals and that sort of stuff. Did he believe in that sort of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
He does? Did he have one?
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
He has 2 of them.
Oh, let me guess. It's 2 spirit animals. Any guesses? This is spirit animals. Tiger and deer. No shot. No shot. I'm gonna go tiger and something quick, like some. A wolf. Tiger and a wolf.
Oh yeah.
Deer and mouse. There's just no shot. There's just no shot.
The hawk
Okay. 1 for 2. 1 for 2. Come on.
and the wolf.
That's close enough.
What did he have?
Hawk and a wolf. I said tiger and a wolf.
I will say every time when he felt safe, he did look up maybe a hawk.
Interesting.
Hawks and wolves are both predatory animals, which may give some insight to the officer, as Jeffrey essentially preyed on his 2 victims. Kelsey also mentions that Jeffrey felt hawks were protecting him, which could indicate that he may struggle with feeling unsafe or threatened in the world. Now that Kelsey has warmed up to the officer, he begins asking more pointed questions.
Now I know for a fact that sometimes he carries weapons with him. Knives, at least.
Yeah, I know about that.
Have you ever seen him carrying a firearm or have one in the car at all?
Never.
It doesn't appear that Kelsey is lying when she answers this question, meaning that she likely has no knowledge of Jeffrey's recent crimes.
Does he have, is he pretty high-strung, what do you say?
Okay, go on.
High-strung, like, is he nervous, is he fidgety, or...
I don't sound like the same dude I just saw in that.
Kelsey interrupts the question before the officer can finish. Even if she doesn't know anything about the murders, it seems as though she might be lying about other aspects of his life. This claim from Kelsey directly contradicts how we see Jeffrey acting in his own interrogation.
That dude's nervous.
Meaning Kelsey is either purposefully lying or doesn't know her husband as well as she might think. This isn't our only sign that Kelsey may know more than she's letting on.
Does he normally go straight home to his grandparents when he's at your house? Or, well, I guess depending on the time of day, he might end up going back to work or something.
Yeah, most of the time, too.
Where does he go when he doesn't? Do you know?
No, not really.
Right after answering the officer's question, Kelsey can be seen glancing up at the camera, indicating that she may have not been truthful and is thinking about the fact that her lies are being recorded. Even more important than glancing at the camera, her foot starts bouncing, indicating a likely increase in anxiety, and her nose appears twitching, which can often indicate anxiety as fight or flight causes the nose to become engorged and itchy. Also, despite appearances, she is still quite closed off. Her arm is crossed in a barrier across her body, legs tightly crossed with ankles close to each other and close to her body. Overall, still sustaining closed-off body language. When officers are looking for signs of deception, there is no one cue that tells them that an individual is lying, as cues can happen for different reasons. However, as they add up and turn into cluster signs of anxiety, the officers will hone in on this and push a bit harder to see if the individual will crack and tell the truth or share what they're holding back.
Your phone is still at the house, right? Your phone is still at the house? Your cell phone? Where is it?
Why?
Because we need it.
Why?
For our investigation.
Kelsey, just tell him where it's at. It's in my room on my bed.
Okay.
Unless there's a warrant specific to her phone, she is under no obligation to hand it over for investigation. The Fourth Amendment protects digital devices, including phones and laptops, from search and seizure, so she is well within her rights to question this and to ultimately refuse.
What kind of, why do you want to only see pictures? No. What kind of stuff? What have you said to him that you don't want to see? Personal things. Like what? Personal things. Anything that can hurt you? Huh? No, not really. Okay, then I don't care like the mushy stuff you put on there. If that's what it is. It's okay. No, it's not.
Most younger people are extremely hesitant to hand over their phones to anyone.
Dude, I can't hand my phone over. I don't want them
And
looking at my
younger people are
parlays and
more
stuff.
likely
Dude.
to be suspicious
That's
of
some
law
personal
enforcement in
stuff.
general. Kelsey may see her phone as something that is private and personal, so it's a violation of her right to privacy to have law enforcement go through it. However, exercising your rights is very much black and white. You either exercise them or you don't. There's little gray area. Once you surrender a right to privacy in something, it's virtually impossible to claw back.
Just say whatever it is, Kelsey, because I don't know anything about it. They're trying to help him, okay? So just tell him what it is. Because I don't know. Can you leave the room?
Can you leave the room?
If you want to wait outside with the other officer, you can stay close. And then we'll bring you back in.
Back with Jeffrey, Detective Bennett begins establishing a timeline for the past few days. The timeline starts out very normal, with Jeffrey talking about spending most of his weekend either working or hanging out with Kelsey. After leaving Kelsey's house early Monday morning, Jeffrey stopped by his grandparents' house to grab a few things before going to a nearby park where he slept in his car. Jeffrey's timeline seems to check out with the detective until he mentions something incredibly strange he found while getting gas
something to snack
on
on, but I don't know what I got.
I stopped at Quick Trip that once. Before I got to the park. I found something really interesting there.
What?
It was weird. I don't like them.
What do you mean?
I don't like them at all.
What is it?
It was a gun.
Okay. At that Quick Trip right there at Mabry Road?
It was behind it. And I was going to smoke a cigarette back there and kicked it.
Okay.
Ouch! Because I was barefoot.
What?
And I picked it up and I was like, okay, well, I guess somebody left it. Free. I mean, I could sell it because I don't have a lot of money. I don't have money at all. So I was like, okay, I can sell it.
Right.
And I was like playing with it and all that.
This story about finding a gun behind a gas station is hard to believe. It's
found a gun behind a gas station. He just kicked it with his bare foot.
It's likely that Jeffrey obtained the gun in another way, but doesn't want to admit it.
He bought it.
Can you tell me what it looked like?
It looked like a gun.
It was black, and it was one of the really short ones.
Okay. Like one that you hold in your hand or one that you prop on your shoulder?
Not that.
Like one of the
No.
ones that, but not that big.
No.
Okay.
It was, Call of Duty, the ones where you go like this.
Okay. So.
Those ones. I now we're speaking my language.
You said it was black, right? So did it have the spinning wheel thing on the side, or did the top of it slide back?
The top. It pinched me.
Okay. How did you pinch yourself?
It pinched my finger.
How did that happen?
It got infected. I was playing with it, and it went forward really fast. And
Oh, okay. So you got your pinky stuck in the little sliding part on the top?
it hurt.
Holy cow, I bet. Did it bleed?
It did, but it's more infected right now.
Oh.
While discussing the gun, Jeffrey uses a lighter,
Bro,
more
this might be the most
childlike
confusing
tone
one I've
as
seen
a way
yet.
of making this whole
What?
story sound more innocent, as well as what sounds like an unusual accent. Using that childlike tone as a way for him to avoid answering questions
Too
and
crazy.
to avoid the seriousness of what's going on. He didn't always speak that way, only sometimes, which indicates that he might be being evasive and deceptive.
No, I
and
think he's
trying
just
to
crazy.
avoid the question. He also focuses on how the gun injured him in order to present himself as the victim and to distract Detective Bennett from assuming he had any ill intent with the weapon. Although she likely doesn't believe his story, Detective Bennett is making sure to appear empathetic to Jeffrey's extremely minor injury. By coming across as warm and understanding, she's able to build up a rapport with him and get him to readily answer her questions. He likely would shut down if Detective Bennett raised her voice or argued with him. Although she's doing a good job of appearing empathetic and understanding, it's clear something is wrong with Jeffrey.
And
They
you
don't
left
say.
her house and headed for Grandma's house. Okay. So at that point, we had a crime happen here in Roswell that,
Heard about it the next day from her mom. It's horrible.
okay, Okay.
Why you think I want to even more move up to Canton with that nice apartment?
Yeah.
But it's horrible.
Well, you still had to drive by the location where the incident happened.
I did?
Yeah. I have your car on video.
So,
Driving by the incident location.
when?
I have you pulling into the parking lot where the incident occurred.
Mm-hmm.
I have you getting out of your car and walking around a little bit. I have you walking towards where the incident occurred.
Yikes.
And I have you on video where the incident occurred.
Oh.
Tell me why you were there when that happened.
I'm scared to say something. It was awful. It was all covered in blood.
What was the most memorable thing Russell said? It's the picture from the video. I'm going to unleash my bipolar. Something like that.
Okay.
The pig joke was pretty funny though.
Okay.
It was awful.
Okay. Tell me what you saw.
He saw somebody getting shot. That's what he saw.
Mm-hmm.
Blood was everywhere.
As Detective Bennett gets more and more information out of
Bro,
Jeffrey,
this guy.
we see him revert back into the fetal position he was in at the beginning of the interrogation.
This
You'll notice
guy.
that Jeffrey loosens up when they're talking about less stressful things. He also once again changes his voice to sound high-pitched. It's clear that he's panicking.
So sore.
Okay. At what point in time did you go to the flash foods?
What?
The gas station.
What do you mean? I don't remember this.
Gas stations have video cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I know what kind of car you drive.
Yes.
I have you on video and your car at the gas station
Yes.
across the street from your job. At what point did you go to the gas station?
He's just gonna like say he's insane. He's gonna plead insanity. He's gonna do that thing.
The laser.
While it's obvious that Jeffrey was caught lying about going to the gas station, it can be hard to determine if he is intentionally lying since he appears to be in the midst of a psychotic episode. While Jeffrey may be able to effectively communicate with the detective during this episode, that doesn't mean he's in his right mind. Despite this, Detective Bennett questions Jeffrey about the murder weapon, and the lies continue to add up.
Okay, I don't believe that you ever found a gun behind the QT. Because the employees hang out behind the QT, and that's where they smoke their cigarettes and take their breaks. If there was a gun laying with bullets in a bag in a case, I'm pretty sure that one of the employees would have been able to see it. It's lit back there.
Yes, but how do you know if they actually saw it or not?
A handgun in a bag
What?
with bullets in a case. You don't think they would have seen it?
I don't know.
Where'd the gun come from?
The more Detective Bennett questions Jeffrey about his actions after finding the bodies, the more tangled he gets in his own conflicting stories. Detective Bennett has made it clear that she doesn't believe Jeffrey's story about finding the murder weapon. What Jeffrey doesn't know is that Detective Bennett already knows the real story behind how he got the weapon. On Monday afternoon, less than 12 hours after the murders had taken place, Jeffrey's grandfather reported that his Sig Sauer pistol had been stolen, and the description of that gun matched the one Jeffrey claimed to find behind the gas station.
Your grandfather's stolen gun is going to be in the back of your car, isn't it?
I don't know.
Shut
We already
up.
talked about the gun.
Yes.
See, I couldn't deal. This would be my least favorite type of suspect to interview. The one that just keeps saying, "I don't know." If you're gonna say, "I don't know that much," just put your hands behind your back.
Everything just
Get ready to serve some time. That's what I would tell him.
where it came from. So when I go and get the video from behind Quick Trip on the night you said you found the gun, You're going to be picking up a bag, taking the gun out, cracking the slide, popping a bullet out, picking the bullet up, putting it back in the magazine, putting it back in the gun, and then sticking it into your trunk or in a bag in the back of your car. That's the way that it happened. You think so?
I think so. I think so.
Here, Detective Bennett is using something known as a bait question. If Jeffrey is being honest about how he obtained the gun, then he should be confident that the security footage will confirm he found the gun behind the gas station. However, he gave a weak and non-committal response to the question, confirming that he's being deceptive about where he got the gun.
I don't know his name.
Whose name?
Huh?
Whose name?
The guy I gave.
Oh, God.
The
Gave
guy
away
you
the
gave
gun.
it to. The guy you gave what to? The gun.
Didn't know. He said he wanted to practice.
Okay.
He said he wanted to practice.
You think you the guy that shot them?
No. I don't know.
Who'd you give the gun to?
Bro, this guy's just annoying, I'm gonna be honest.
Like?
All I know is Matt.
His name is Matt. When did you give him the gun?
A week ago.
You didn't find it a week ago. You told me you found it on Sunday night.
God, dude, just shut that one down.
Wednesday.
All I want to do is see my brother again.
It's clear that Jeffrey has some confusion surrounding dates and times.
Because he doesn't know
likely
anything. It's because he
caused
just.
by his psychotic episode.
Well,
However,
I'm
the
done hearing
police
the
now have
psychotic
a
episode. I
lead
think
to
it's a show.
investigate in the form of this
Okay.
mysterious Matt. Determined to get the whole truth from Jeffrey, Detective Bennett tries one last technique before ending the interrogation. She pulls out photos of the victims taken at the crime scene and forces Jeffrey to face his actions.
What if somebody did this to Kelsey? Then
Dang.
what? Then what? What would you want to happen to the person that did this to Kelsey?
Bro, God, these cops laying down the hammer today. They ain't messing around today.
This was Kelsey's picture. And they shot her. And they laid her out naked on the ground. And they spread her legs open.
Gosh!
And they touched her.
Gosh, bro, this cop is
What happens
crazy.
to that person that does that?
I wouldn't like that at all.
You wouldn't like it? What would you do to that person?
Dude.
What should I do to that person as a police officer?
I don't know.
What should happen to that person?
Bad.
What is that?
Kill him!
It's bad. It's bad.
Just bad?
Bro, he's going now, bro. He's.
I
I can't even move my hand that fast.
Just look at her in the daylight. You didn't get to see her in the daylight.
Dude, she's about to set him off for real.
This is a technique known as a punishment question. Someone who's being honest is more likely to respond with a strong punishment that fits the crime, whereas a guilty individual may try to dodge the question or suggest a lesser punishment. In Jeffrey's case, he appears to be highly distressed and unable to suggest anything other than bad. Realizing that Jeffrey is too upset to give any more useful information, Detective Bennett ends the interrogation. With Jeffrey's interrogation completed, all
What time are we at? Okay.
eyes are on Kelsey.
About
A
halfway
new
through.
detective comes into her room to continue her interview.
I really don't think that you've done anything wrong. Okay. But I think you know a lot more information than you're telling us. And I'm just being honest with you. And here's what I'm going to say to you.
If you withhold information, you will be liable. I will arrest you.
You're a young lady. You got your life ahead of you. Okay. I want you to be able to be open with me. You're not under arrest. You understand? You've been helping us. I have no reason to believe that you're nothing more than helping us.
Right.
But I can't later find out something happened or that you knew of something and you didn't tell me. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Then you're culpable. And you're accountable.
Oh, thanks, dude.
You're welcome.
It comes into kind of personal. Like, oh, I
Pretty new that text from the office.
When Mama was working as a prison guard and something went missing, she'd ask one question. What do we do when we find the guilty party? And if they said, come down on them with that swift hammer of justice, innocent. A clear conscience don't need no mercy. But if they said, Officer Bessie, well, they may have had a reason, blah, 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 blah. Well, 9 times out of 10, that's the anus they check.
God.
When Mama was working at...
Bruh. I don't know if I've seen that episode. I don't think I've seen it.
I don't like betraying people in a way. I understand.
Kelsey knows that revealing intimate details about Jeffrey, such as his mental and emotional problems, could incriminate him. It seems that she may need more confirmation about the severity of Jeffrey's
Zach, how'd you do on betting today? You win anything?
actions before she's comfortable giving details. Additionally, Kelsey clearly doesn't understand what the detective is implying when he tells her
you got a surprise for
that
me,
she
bro.
is
Is it a fire thumbnail? Am I about to be
culpable and
after this video, bro? Hop in the Discord.
She appears
or
to
if you
take
want to
it
hop in
as a
before, it don't matter.
compliment, when actually he's saying that if he finds out she's hiding something, she'll be held accountable by the law and possibly face legal consequences. The detective should take a moment here to explain his statement. He should also use caution going forward and make sure that he explicitly says what he means in simple terms, so that he can be sure Kelsey understands.
Has he given you or told you about anything that he's done recently that would be, in your eyes, shocking?
I'll take. Do we'll have a photo shoot after, you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'll have a little photo shoot.
Alright, so
I'll do some poses for you, bro. I got you.
here's
my
what
good
the deal
side.
is. You know, I told you they sent me to all those fancy schools.
Mm-hmm.
You just lied to me.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I looked away, but normally I do that thing.
That's not just look away, and I can't describe everything. I've been doing this for a long time.
Said, sigh? Dude, she just hit it with the sigh, dude.
I got you a thumbnail, bro. It ain't great, but it's all right.
I mean, is it better than the one I have right now?
Okay? All I can tell you is I'm
Wow,
trying.
bro, you're just gonna disrespect me for 5 minutes. That's not bad. That's the first one I've ever really.
I didn't make it for this stream. I made it for the last one because I didn't have anything from this stream.
All right. Well, I could probably post like those like as like short in YouTube videos maybe.
Any kind
It's pretty solid.
of association.
I don't know how I would shorten that though. That video.
Shorten what?
That stream.
Oh, what do you mean shorten it?
Like if I wanted to like repost it as like a video, so it's like not just like a live stream, you know.
If
Oh.
you
You would just cut down the interrogation. Just
Everything except for Russell.
if you give me this deception
It's just Russle.
and I know you're lying to me, then I have no alternative than to put you over here as opposed to over here.
We know that it's a common misconception that eye
Oh, bro,
contact
Steven, I got it
is
set up
indicative
now,
of
bro. I got everything
honesty.
for this shit.
Is it quick?
Oh yeah,
If it's quick and effective, that's the thing, bro. I don't want to like.
bro.
save
I'm
you
damn
time.
near using legit Photoshop right now for free.
For free? What app is it?
Called GIMP.
Oh yeah, I know GIMP.
However, people will
It's
typically
like a software you can. I downloaded it one time and I didn't understand it at all. So I just
Oh, I
periodically
took
as they're
Photoshop on high school and
considering what is being
it's damn near the
said
same thing.
or how to
Yeah,
best
I've had
It's a
GIMP
little bit more
before.
complicated, but it ain't
This
bad.
is all a normal part of honest communication.
What do you use to like remove the backgrounds and stuff?
I'll teach you.
Because dude, the website I use is pretty.
I
pretty
spent
simple.
30 minutes trying to figure out how to cut your head out of the damn picture.
You should try remove BG. It's so easy. You just upload the file and it removes
I already
the
did it. I
background.
know it now. It's easy.
In fact, sustained eye contact can often
Wait, you said
mean
what
the
again?
opposite. As
There's a website called Remove. I've used it for a long time, like making logos and stuff. You literally just upload a photo and it just removes the background.
individuals are
Oh, I got everything, bro. I got a file called thumbnails, and I got you. I got everything, bro.
being deceptive will maintain eye contact.
I kept you over here just because you have knowledge of something.
Tell you.
Listen, you're trying to convince me now.
He's trying to commit.
Okay.
I had to revive him 3 times, okay?
When was that?
Hey, I want to see what this says. Why should I live? Can't do. All dudes hurt everyone on that own. Dang, that's a sad one.
About 3 weeks ago?
Okay, well that's not the. How did he try to commit? With what method?
He had
A gun?
no painkillers.
He had what?
Painkillers. And when he busted up his knee, the doctor gave him painkillers.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he took very
Is this chick innocent in this? I think she is. I think she's innocent. I think we're gonna give her the innocent card.
See that? Most doctor thing I know, okay?
Okay. So did you call rescue?
She's taken my hospital. Now I don't know why, because
was you revived him 3 times with CPR and you didn't call an ambulance. With a nursing major.
Attempts to take one's own life are a major red flag of a number of mental health disorders, including an active psychotic episode. It's a clear sign that Jeffrey's mental state was rapidly decompensating. This information also gives insight into the nature of Kelsey and Jeffrey's relationship. It appears that Kelsey takes on
beautiful Kelsey. Congratulations on graduating from KSU. I'm gonna say I may not have been there for all of it. Okay,
a caregiver role is evidenced by the fact that she revived him 3 times and helped keep the attempt a secret so that she could treat the issues herself. Romantic partners will often take on this caregiver role when they want to hang on to a relationship while their partner is struggling with something that could threaten the relationship, such as Jeffrey's erratic behavior. Kelsey may also enjoy the feeling of usefulness and being needed that she gets from having Jeffrey be dependent on her.
You're safe here. This is a safe room. This is a safe space. I've told you, if you tell me the truth, because later if I find out something different, it's different. And I don't call you anymore. I don't talk to you anymore. I'm trying to put you over here. I'm sorry you had to see that. I know it bothered you, right? Did it bother you to see him like that? Oh no. It would bother me too. But at the end of the day, I've asked you 3 very, very quick questions, and you were deceptive on 2 out of the 3. And I understand what you're saying, and you can say you weren't. I understand it bothered you. I get it.
What bothers me is that you think that I know something that was shocking. The only thing that I know was shocking is when he went to an episode and I had to pin him down because I thought he was going to...
So he hasn't told you that he's hurt anybody recently?
No, he hasn't. He's been with me most of the time.
He never said he hurt anybody?
No.
He never said that he did something bad? He never said...
No, he never told me anything. What do you think? I know that? If he told me no, he didn't tell me anything. I thought he was fine after a while.
Kelsey is using open palm gestures here. This is a nonverbal indicator.
The open
of a lack
palm
of confidence,
gestures.
And it's interesting that she makes this gesture while saying that she thought he was fine after a while. It implies that she may not be sure about this statement.
Dude, wait, I'm trying to think. If I'm not lying, what kind of gestures do I make? I probably... Dude, would I not do that? Like, bro, stop. I guess that does. I guess that does.
Trying to get him out of that.
Okay. All right. I need you down here. I need you way down here. Okay. He's alive now, right? You revived him. He's safe. All right. We'll go to there.
W nursing major.
Back up a little bit.
The way the detective is speaking with Kelsey could be detrimental to get information out of her. When conducting a police interview, it's important for detectives to ask one question at a time and pause to let the other person answer. The detective asks a question here, but then doesn't give her a chance to respond.
He's alive now, right? You revived him. He's safe.
The best questions during an interrogation are short, simple, and straightforward. In the Reed technique, a popular method of interrogation, investigators are trained to do 20% of the talking, while the interview subject should be doing 80% of the talking. The detective also downplays Kelsey's feelings by saying she was bothered by Jeffrey's attempt to take his own life. Kelsey and the detective soon come to a head again.
So you're positive, you're 100% positive that you're telling me the truth, that he had no vengeance, no anger, no hatred, no nothing towards anybody but...
Basically, yeah.
Basically doesn't mean yeah. I don't know.
We might normally say that her saying basically is a qualifier statement, but at the same time, she's young and has at least one disability that
We'll give her a break. We'll give her a break on that one.
As well, this detective isn't exactly doing a great job of establishing or maintaining rapport to keep her talking comfortably. She may be feeling pressured to provide answers. The likely truth is that she may not know the answer to the question, but is afraid of saying that since it hasn't gone over well in her interview up to this point.
He doesn't tell me everything. I don't know why.
Let's back up. Hold on a second.
I really do not like when you interrupt me.
Okay, that's fine. I don't like it when you're deceptive. So you're...
God! Bro, these cops do not play around. All three videos, or all two videos, both videos we watched today.
Here we go.
I've been
I'm back.
listening, but I haven't really been watching. It's been kind of.
Bro, these cops do not mess around today. They just they're ruthless.
Fucking with it.
And then I've got to go because I've got.
She said, "I don't like when you interrupt me." He said, "I don't like when you're deceptive."
I'm gonna be called.
His response to her
Gosh.
saying she thought he was disrespectful is the perfect example of a damaging power struggle. Interrupting may be more disrespectful to her than most, because if she relies on lip reading to help her understand what the detective is saying, then him talking while she's talking doesn't allow her the ability to focus and understand what he's saying.
L cop.
This in turn leads to more communication issues.
You can't leave until a day, right?
No,
I'm trying to settle down right now because I don't know.
deep breath. Okay? I'm almost done with this interview, and I'm gonna leave. Your mom's a sweet woman, in my opinion. You just had a bad relationship. I think you were trying to find something good in him. When you said he's violent, he's got these things going on, you were trying to help him. I get it. Don't lie to me. He's talked to you, and he's talked to you, and I know he's talked to you, and I can't tell you how I know that. Okay? But I know he's talked to you. And I've been waiting for you to talk to me about it. But if you're not going to talk to me about it...
No, what?
Okay. Calm down. I don't need your hands. I don't need all that. We're just talking. We're two adults. We're two adults.
God, bro.
I understand, but he's talked to you about
What did she
people
say?
that he doesn't like or people that you would like to hurt.
Kelsey emphasizes her words with her hands, and it all matches up, indicating that she doesn't have a brain-body conflict and is highly likely being honest. She uses a lot of
Oh, wait, is she? Is she being honest? I mean, she's like, I could see it, but like, I thought like the cop said he knew something.
illustrators to emphasize her words in other ways. It may seem excessive, but her emotions are very high, so it matches her mental state quite clearly. The detective is far too confident and has now caused Kelsey so much distress that she has likely lost all trust in him.
Sorry.
She might
How
feel
much what?
How much longer is that video again?
Like less than 30 minutes.
that the detective is just playing games with her, or she might feel frustrated that no matter how forthcoming she is, he will still doubt her honesty, especially since Kelsey has given all indications of a person responding honestly.
Yes, he has.
Hurt? He never told me anybody didn't want to hurt. Never.
That's it?
He told me once he was doing that. And he when he wasn't looking.
Is this English?
I don't know. Anybody?
Kelsey's heated reaction to being told she's lying is actually indicative of her being honest. Many truthful people will react with a strong tone of voice or even become hostile or angry when they're wrongfully accused of something. It's understandable that Kelsey's patience with the detective might be running thin at this point, because she's divulging sensitive and painful information while being repeatedly told she's deceptive. It would be in the detective's best interest to maintain a good relationship with Kelsey.
He's already
if he
lost
wants her to
that.
trust him with any other secrets she may have about Jeffrey. The detective may also be making this interview unintentionally harder for himself when he tells Kelsey not to move her hands around.
Calm down. I don't need your hands. I don't need all that. We're just talking.
By telling the interviewee to limit body language, the detective is limiting expressive cues that may actually be of use in the interrogation.
L cop.
With the detective questioning her on Jeffrey's recent behavior and aggression, Kelsey is able to deduce that they suspect he's involved in the public's murders.
If he's over here, and there's some culpability and some big things going on right here, I don't want to move you into that chair. And it's really that simple. I don't want to put you in that same chair.
About killing, didn't it?
Why would you say that?
That's the only big thing going around. And you asked about a gun.
It's not the only thing, but why would you say that? You need to be honest with me, and you need to be honest with me right now. Huh?
You said it happened on Sunday.
You need to be honest with me. That's
Bro,
what you
honestly, I don't really like this cop. I don't like the way he's talking, really.
need to be.
You don't know if he did that. Why are you making it sound like he did? You're making it sound like it. That's what I asked. That's why I asked you if I was it. Because I don't know.
How do you know about the killings, then?
My mom told me.
Your mom?
Told me Monday morning.
What killings was she referring to?
The ones behind public.
The ones behind Publix. So why would you think your boyfriend would be anything associated with that?
To be honest, I don't know.
As Kelsey says, to be honest, I don't know, she makes very intense eye contact with the detective, as if she's trying to see if he believes her.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we.
Then you need to start talking to me, because I've got 3 houses waiting on me. I'm
Shush.
done. I have more information than you think I have.
I don't know
Okay.
where he went.
Chill.
Please don't be free.
My gosh, bro. I thought she was about to pounce on him. Like,
Then talk to me.
Interestingly, Kelsey goes into the confession pose, leaning forward
I
with her
thought she was about
hands
to-
in
I
her
thought she was
lap,
about to
right
jump him.
before the detective pushes her again. If he had sat with the silence for a minute, she may have opened up at that point instead of freaking out. This is why, when conducting interviews, it's so important to pay attention to nonverbal cues and to be able to sit with silence and let the person think. All the detective did was potentially delay the truth from coming out. Interviews should be conducted in a non-accusatory and non-confrontational manner. Interviews should only be confrontational when detectives have evidence someone was involved in a crime.
is this an L
And then
interview?
the interview will switch to an interrogation style. However, this detective is choosing to be impatient and not empathetic. He's trying to use her own words against her and make it sound like her question is proof of Jeffrey's plans. This is just one example of why young or vulnerable individuals should have a parent and/or lawyer present with them during questioning.
We'll be right back. We got something that just came up. So I'll let her come in and then we'll
L
get you all,
detectives.
okay?
L detectives.
See? Okay? I want you to talk to Mom, okay? I want you to calm down and talk to me. What they've been questioning you about, I need to know up front. I want you to tell me, okay? I need to know. But I don't know if you did it. Okay, no, listen to me though. Okay. You've got to be truthful with these policemen, okay? No, I know. Okay, then you've got to tell me everything they want to know, okay? He told me that Jeff, they did one person, I don't know that. This is very important, okay? Because I'm scared now. I'm scared. You're scared for me. No, listen. I'm not scared for you. You're fine. Calm down, Kelsey, calm. Be calm. Okay? And you told the truth about everything. Because they feel like you're not telling the truth about it. I don't know.
When the detective comes back into the room, Kelsey tells him what she can about Jeffrey's recent violent behavior.
Here we go. Now she's talking.
He got one coming on.
One.
I got the two coming on, and I stayed with him for 2 hours. He got in trouble with it. And he had a knife. And he gave me his knife because he thought...
I hear voices that tell me to hurt other people. I hear voices that tell me to hurt myself. I see and hear characters that are my friends.
he was going to hurt
This
someone.
crazy,
This is,
bro.
of course, an obvious red flag that Jeffrey was dangerous. Sadly, Kelsey thought she was taking care of Jeffrey by just taking the knife away. But in truth, he would have needed hospitalized care to stop his violence and aggression from escalating even further. Back with Detective Bennett, Jeffrey has requested to speak with her again, and this time he's promising to tell her the whole truth.
What decisions that led up to this do you think are the bad ones that you made?
Then what did it do in respect to her?
Protect her.
Kelsey?
Protect her. Okay. Tell me about how you were protecting Kelsey.
Huh?
There was a guy. Another guy.
Okay.
But
He was jealous.
he made me drive him around.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
And the high school, he made me drive past, and around.
Past where? What?
The Roswell High School
Okay.
has the entrance, and he told me that the girl was parked in that area. And he made me drive past her car. And then, when I got to the exit, he got out. I was like, where are you going? It's like, none of your business. So he told me to drive there, then walk to the back.
Okay.
So I parked. And then a little while later, her car comes through with his car.
Okay.
And
see, nothing this guy says makes sense to me. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. So where did you first? Go ahead.
He made me show him my driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
And he threatened me. And threatened my family, which was Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
As he hinted towards in his last interview, Jeffrey reveals that there was another man with him at the time of the murders. With Jeffrey giving more information about Matt and the night of the murders, maybe the detectives will finally be able to piece together a motive.
So where did you first encounter this guy? Where did you first see him or meet him or?
It was a while back.
Okay.
What? We were friends or something of the sort.
Okay.
I smoked a little marijuana with him a couple of times.
Okay.
And
did you guys meet at a party or at work or how'd you end up meeting?
it was a while back. He was when me and Kelsey first met.
Okay. And you said that was sometime in March, right?
Yes.
End of March or
It
something?
was March 7th when we first met.
The beginning of March. Okay.
There was him and another person in a car that was parked next to hers. And so they were yelling and everything, and we ended up like meeting and going into my car, and we were smoking marijuana.
Uh-huh.
And that she got pissed at me. We weren't even together then, we just met.
Okay, so y'all aren't even dating yet. Okay.
And she got pissed at me because I left her for two strange men.
So where were you? Where were y'all? Where were you?
Bro, the way he
from?
laughs makes me so uncomfortable.
Okay, the one here in Roswell or where you were?
God.
Okay.
Notice how quickly his emotions and
He might
voice
be one of the
change.
creepiest, bro.
He quickly shifts from
He's
panic
actually
mode and
crazy.
freaking out to laughing about something else.
He laughs about just random
This is
shit.
another
Bro, like the
indication
whole
that
time
he's
I was
in the
doing like
midst
the
of
thumbnail
a
or whatever,
mental
I wasn't really paying
breakdown.
attention, but when that
By
motherfucker
giving
was on there, I
Detective
paid
Bennett a
attention.
detailed description of first meeting
His
Matt
gut,
in a
like
Michael's
his
parking
fucking, like,
lot,
his voice is
a
just
story that Kelsey
bro, it's
herself
just-
could back up. He's making his explanation more and more plausible. Additionally, the police have records of Jeffrey's phone contacts and have seen that he does have a contact saved as Matt, meaning they may now have a solid lead on another suspect. After telling the detective more about meeting and hanging out with Matt, Jeffrey tells her about running into him on the night of the murders.
Where did you end up seeing him that night?
Fidgeting with foot.
It
He's been
was
doing that.
over by Wahoo, or what we call Wahoo.
Waffle House? Okay. So yesterday, you told me that you and Kelsey hung out around the house.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me about Waffle House.
Because that's where I went right after I left.
Okay, so you went over to Waffle House after you left Kelsey's house.
I don't want. I was trying. I'm trying
Gotta
to
shut down.
protect
Gotta
her.
shut down again.
Okay.
All I care about.
I can understand that.
Because of that, then I'm in trouble.
Okay.
And I won't be able to be there for her, but to protect her then.
So tell me about the Waffle House. Were you going over there to eat, or were you going over there to meet him?
No, I wasn't going over the meeting. I just chilled over there, got water,
Okay.
basically talked to the guy and all that.
So then, how did you encounter Matt?
When I was driving away,
Mm-hmm.
I recognized him. It's like, hey, how's it going? And
The entrance, I'm sorry.
the entrance,
I just want to make sure I'm understanding the entrance to the shopping center, like
The
from the
center.
main road?
the center, yes.
Okay.
Jeffrey is describing meeting Matt in a very public area. It's possible that Detective Bennett is trying to get details on Matt's specific location so that she can pull up security tapes from surrounding businesses and double-check Jeffrey's story.
Okay.
And
So Matt was over here.
He was right on the corner, right here.
Okay.
And
It's kind of slow for only being an hour.
How's it going? Because I stopped farther down. And
Must wrap this up pretty quick.
Can I get a ride? And I'm like, okay, sure.
Okay.
And then he, I thought he was a nice guy, you know? Never really know, I guess.
So where did you guys go after you picked him up?
He told me that he and this girl were, that he really liked and really loved on this girl. Which I understand. I love Kelsey. But we were driving to, down this way.
Towards Roswell?
Yes.
Back this way?
And he said, oh, I'm really loving this girl. She's lovely. I gotta go meet her tonight. And yes, see my driver's license. I'm like, look, why? Why? And I'm like, I just want to see it. I mean, like, my picture's horrible. Let me show you. So I showed him, and he says, I'm good. And I had her name.
I feel a weird laugh coming.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. What do you mean? You have my name.
Right.
He's like, you're going to do what I say. And that's, that's all. Come on.
Okay.
And he starts into my family, and I realize that me has my name, my stuff. Then now he has Kelsey's, has hers.
So he's trying to pull the old, I was forced to do it.
Families, her parents, her brothers, sisters, all that.
Might be a decent play, but I don't think it's going to work out well.
Okay, don't do anything to them. Just what do you want me to do? Like, just drive to Roswell High School, drive around. There's this girl that I'm supposed to be meeting. So he drives, we drive, and the car's there. The girl's car.
The girl's car. Okay.
And he says, well, it doesn't look like she's in there, so just let me out on the corner. And then park over at the Publix.
Okay.
So I did, and I don't know where he went.
Okay.
He told me that I was going to do whatever he told me to do. Because hurt my family.
Okay. And what else did he tell you to do? What did he say, though? I need to know the words that he said.
Just wanted to to my room.
I know.
That's all I wanted to do.
I know. He was threatening everyone.
I ain't buying
Do
it.
you remember the words that he said? Can you tell me the words that he said to you?
He says, I got to die.
He's talking about the girl from the car? Okay.
He said, if you don't do it, I'm gonna shoot out, shoot life down, and hunt everybody down.
Okay.
I didn't want him to come after my wife. He shouldn't.
What if he's actually telling the truth, though? There's no shot, though.
With this, the police have at least a tentative motive for Jeffrey.
Sam, what's up with this guy? You're coming a little late. We got 10 minutes left. This is probably the last video I'm watching too. This guy's crazy. Absolutely just crazy. He's got like multiple personalities. I don't know what he's got. But he's coming up with a bunch of, he's acting crazy. His girlfriend's kind of a little crazy. His wife or whatever. He basically, I'm pretty sure he shot these two people in like cold blood behind a Publix. But he's coming up with a story that's basically somebody named Matt kind of like got him, figured out what his name was, and like kind of took him against his will and told him he had to kill these people. I don't really know how this ends in 10 minutes, but that's basically what it is.
While Jeffrey,
he claims, he just claimed that he basically was told to kill these people, and that if he didn't, he was going to hurt a bunch of people.
may not have known either of the victims. Matt was supposedly having some sort of lover's quarrel with Natalie Henderson.
Natalie Henderson? Who's that? That's the girl that died, right?
As some of the answers begin to fall into place for the detectives, there are still plenty of questions about the murders they still need answered.
Wasn't he wearing like a mask, though, whenever...
Did the gun come from? your grandpa's gun.
At long last, Jeffrey admits that the gas
See, it doesn't
station
make sense
story
that he
was
would
a
get his grandpa's gun.
lie, and he did in fact steal the gun from his grandfather. Jeffrey admitting to this shows Detective Bennett that he genuinely wants to tell her the truth this time around. Finally, Jeffrey gives Detective Bennett details on how he killed his victims.
Oh, gosh.
And so he said, go now. Basically, go and get him. And you went over and you said you opened the door. Which door?
Yeah.
Which door did you open?
The left side.
The left side door. So, like right behind the driver's seat. Okay. Who got out of the car first?
He did.
He did. What did you say to them when you opened the door?
I just said, get out right now.
Okay. And he got out.
They hesitated, and he was getting impatient, I could tell.
Yeah.
And so...
Was he still yelling?
He's Matt? Wait. So Matt never existed. Matt never existed, okay.
Yes, he yelled the whole time.
Okay.
He kept on mentioning my wife, my family, my wife. He's like, come on, hurry up, or your family's gonna get it soon.
Okay. So you told him to get out, and the guy gets out. And then what? Did you have the gun out of your pocket at that point? Okay. So while he's yelling, and you have the boy out.
Oh, okay, wait.
What does the girl do?
She's coming out.
She's coming out too? Does she come out the same door?
Sad.
So they both come out the same way?
I was just going to, like, hit them a couple times, like, see if that would help.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he told me to kill them.
If that would satisfy him.
Yes, maybe if I...
Dude, if you have, like, if this actually happened, if I was in this situation, and you have the gun, why wouldn't you just shoot Matt or whatever? Right? What do I know?
Hit the guy once, then maybe that would help.
Okay, did you hit him?
Yes.
Okay, what did you hit him with?
With my fix with the gun.
With the gun?
Like, hopefully, that be enough?
Yeah.
Is that enough? No, it's not enough.
Okay, where did you hit him with the gun? In the head? And what
Because
happened?
maybe that would satisfy him to where that might go. Like he could forget all about it.
Yeah, where did, what happened to him when you hit him with the gun?
He fell out of the car.
He fell out of the car?
Dude, you know what? You know what I just thought of? Maybe I'm just super slow on this. But I feel like Matt is like this imaginary guy that's telling him to kill. You know, like it's just this, it's like his self-conscience. Like, he's not actually there. It's just some fake dude that is in his imagination. I think that's what it is.
Did you ever
Maybe I'm
hit the
so
girl?
slow on that.
Was that the only time that you hit the boy? And he told you that wasn't good enough? That wasn't going to work? So did the boy get up from the ground?
Yes.
And then what did the boy do?
He was basically yelling. He was starting to come at me, and I looked back, and he wasn't going to do anything. He kept on yelling to me, and all my craziness, head. And next thing I know, I'm looking around, next thing I know, boom.
There was an explosion?
He's on the ground.
Where was the girl when the boy was coming at
Oh
you?
gosh, bro, this is actually sad.
She was over by her car.
She was by the car. What was she doing? Was she saying anything?
She was yelling at me too.
What was she yelling?
She was yelling, what the f***? Why did you do that? I don't know. He's telling me to. She looked over there and saw him, and he yelled, kill her, kill her. Remember the f***ing family.
Oh yeah, this dude's...
So, okay, she said...
I don't know how it took me 50 minutes, but this dude isn't real. It's just Matt is this fucking voice in her head. His head. So
Why are you doing this?
She kind of gasped when she felt, yeah. Then we got to where he was just yelling at me so much about my family. I was like, okay, whatever. And that's
Okay, did you hear the boom for her? Where were you when you heard the boom for her?
I was standing over by In between the cars.
In between the cars? And she was by her car? Okay. Do you remember how she fell down? Did she fall down backwards or did she fall down forwards?
It didn't look.
Okay.
Was my eyes down like that?
Okay.
Following his detailed confession, Jeffrey admits to stealing.
Shot her.
Natalie Henderson's credit card and using it at a nearby gas station. By making a full confession, Jeffrey can get things over with more quickly. But making any confession is rarely of any value to a suspect. The only time it might help is if the alleged crime is more serious than the actual crime, at which point details may mitigate how the crime is actually charged. However, a decision to take that route would only be something undertaken after an in-depth consultation with a lawyer. After gathering a few more details from Jeffrey, Detective Bennett ends this interview with far more answers than she was able to get last time.
Oh boy.
However, there's still one more surprise in store for detectives.
What is it? What is it?
While Kelsey may not have known anything about Jeffrey's murders, she did provide the police with the most key piece of evidence.
Oh boy.
He has schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia is a serious condition in which someone interprets their reality in an abnormal way.
Yikes.
This can include seeing hallucinations, hearing voices that aren't there, and extremely disordered thinking.
Dude, that's actually crazy.
You keep repeating that he couldn't have done that. Do you really believe that?
He told me that he would never do that. But his voice would make him.
Voices?
While most individuals who are diagnosed with schizophrenia do not commit acts of violence, they are at a higher risk for committing violence compared to the general population. One study even shows that those with schizophrenia who do act violently are more likely to have higher levels of trauma from their
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, that's his wife, I guess. So 5 months. They only dated for like 5 months.
Experienced.
What medications does he take, do you know?
He's not on medication right now.
No, is he supposed to be?
Yes.
Oh my god.
When a person with a serious and persistent
wasn't on his
illness
meds.
such as schizophrenia stops taking their medication, the consequences can be serious or even fatal. According to his doctor, Jeffrey would experience extreme hallucinations and paranoia while not on his medication.
Dude, what's crazy is that he even had somebody named Matt in his contacts on his phone. I forgot about that. He probably made a contact for this dude, and it was just somebody in his head.
Included seeing messages from God on TV and believing that there were invisible cameras spying on him at all times. With all of this information in mind, the police reviewed their CCTV footage from the night of the murders and made a shocking discovery.
Oh gosh.
Matt, the supposed mastermind behind this whole crime,
never existed. RIP!
Wasn't real.
There was nobody else in that parking lot.
I heard the shots.
There was nobody else in that parking lot.
I heard.
So some invisible person shot them while you were walking towards them.
Hey.
Why'd you need to wear a mask? You were wearing a mask. The mask is in the back of your car right now. I saw it this morning.
Which one?
The V for Vendetta mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was scared the guy was still there.
Hey, was that a book? I think I read that book. I read that book, actually. You know what? I read a book. Guys. You should be proud. I read that book. And I watched the movie. The movie was better.
Did you think the mask was not going to have him kill you?
You know what? The movie was kind of mid, actually, if I remember.
If there's some crazy person back there with a gun, you thought you could put a little plastic Halloween mask on your face and you'd be okay? That's the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard, Jeffrey.
What's going on? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? I didn't do anything.
Bro, this is nuts.
No, you didn't do anything. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. What is going on? Don't leave my wife alone, please. Please.
Typically, if a suspect comes up with a wild story,
Bro.
such as being forced to kill by a man no one else can see, we can assume that they are feigning mental illness because they believe that in doing so, they could avoid getting charged for the crime. However, Jeffrey's case is different because we know the details of his illness. We know he came off of his medication and was displaying red flags indicative of severe mental and emotional decompensation, including increased anger, homicidal thoughts, and attempting to...
That's rough for everybody, dude. The two people that got killed, that's crazy.
Take his own life. Knowing this, there is a good chance Jeffrey genuinely believes this story about Matt. To him, Matt is real, and that night at Publix was a result of Jeffrey acting out of fear from Matt's threats. While this certainly doesn't excuse Jeffrey's horrific actions, it does help us understand why two innocent teenagers lost their lives that night. Following his confession, Jeffrey was treated and evaluated by medical professionals until he was fit enough to stand trial. He then entered into a guilty but mentally ill plea, and on May 17, 2017, he was given a life sentence without the possibility.
Yeah, they still gave it to him!
There hasn't been much information on Jeffrey since his incarceration. However, on August 11, 2017, he was somehow able to post a selfie to his Instagram account from prison. The photo was taken down soon after authorities were notified about its posting, and no information was ever released about how or why Jeffrey posted the image.